Welcome back once again to the world's most exciting and completely unexpected podcast in the world, Group Chat After Dark. The giggling, the laughing is because if you don't watch the podcast, you'll have no idea. But right now, my illustrious co-host here has thrown up a background that says Halloween sucks, Halloween blows, Halloween kills.
Because it does.
His virtual meeting background is really making a point. Did you make that special for today?
No, I just typed in Halloween sucks on Google.
Oh, I see. There's a website there in the corner. So yeah, you just ripped that off somebody else too.
Yeah. It's free. It's on the internet. It's free.
Okay, well there you go. Yeah, forget like intellectual property or copyright or anything like that. Anyway, welcome once again. As you may have already guessed, this is our Halloween episode, the month of October. We definitely recorded this well before October 28th at almost 9 p.m.
We recorded this in August. What are you talking about?
Yeah. This has been recorded for a long time. We've had this in the bag. So we're not going to be talking about any current events because obviously since it's recorded months in advance, we don't know what's going on in the world right now. So everything could be great.
You know, in being August, I read an article recently. BJ Novak from The Office, his likeness has been turned into public domain on accident.
Oh,
he's on all these random Asian hygiene products.
I read that back in August as well, or now here in August. I read that. It's definitely not something that's making the rounds now, but
I find it hilarious that
it is hilarious.
Unintentionally end up on the internet somewhere.
Yeah. Oh, it happened a lot at the onset of like social media and stuff. People's family photos would be like billboards in other countries and stuff, and they'd happen to be traveling and be like, wait a minute, that's us. And they're like, well, once you put something on the internet, it is no longer yours.
Speaking of the internet, the latest August news in the world, Facebook is now Meta.
Apparently I'm
title.
Confused by that. I don't think Facebook is actually going to be called Meta. I think they're
the company.
Parent. Yeah, I think
like Google's owned by Alphabet. Yeah.
All the news outlets right now are reporting that Facebook has changed its name to Meta, and I don't think that's correct, but I could be wrong.
They are changing their stock symbol too to
I did notice that, so I'm getting mixed signals here. Yeah, they're changing it from FB to Meta, but I'm assuming that's still the parent. You know, Facebook will remain Facebook, but it's probably a Meta company.
Yeah, because they've got Instagram and WhatsApp and all that
stuff. Or maybe it's just all Meta now.
You know what is
Metagram?
Meta?
What's Meta?
No, what's not Meta? The number one selling product in the history of Shark Tank, the Scrub Daddy.
Wait a minute. I thought Bombas was the number one selling product.
No, Bombas is old. That was in July. This is August now.
Oh.
Yes, they've been surpassed by the Scrub Daddy.
Okay.
It is a two-sided sponge, one being hard for those stuck-on grease pieces that you have after you fry those eggs, and soft for the
turn your phone off during your ad read. Good Lord. It's like you've never done this before.
Up.
What is happening?
Oh, it's Scrub Daddy. He's calling me. I just got my royalty check for this month, so that's good.
Oh, there you go.
But no, the soft side for those delicate areas. I hear you can even use the soft side as a shower loofah.
No.
Look it up.
Huh. Okay. Well, it says it on the internet. It has to be true.
Yes, absolutely. The latest internet celebrity that I've been following. You ever use the app Duolingo with the owl? It teaches you how to speak other languages.
I'm aware of it, but I've never used it.
That owl is on TikTok, and it is creating quite a hazard to the company of Duolingo. So if you're out there stalking the internet for shitty internet memes, look for the Duolingo owl on TikTok. Yeah.
So are you done? You're just done with Scrub Daddy?
I don't know. I'm torn. Scrub Daddy. It's selling like hotcakes as people are stuck in their houses continually making dishes. They need somebody to scrub off the sorrows of their leftover microwave meals, and Scrub Daddy fits that prescription.
Since they are our sponsor, I'm assuming we have a promo code.
It is the promo code Todd Sux. This month of August, it gives you 0% off with 0 payments due forever. So there's that.
Now just remember, even though we're recording this in August, well in advance of this debut, it's actually in the listeners' minds, it's October right now.
Oh, the Todd Sux isn't valid in October.
Oh.
So you can try the promo code GCHAD, but that one has, I looked it up on couponfever.com. It only has like a 65% working rate. So your mileage may vary.
65%, that's pretty good.
It's better
more than half. Yeah.
It's not an F. It's not.
No, it is not an F. I'll take it. Well, thank you for that once again.
Solid D minus.
That's the grade I would give your ad read this month, since your phone went off during it and you started talking about owls and other companies.
That was Scrub Daddy and the TikTok owl, you know.
Okay. I see. Well, we thank our sponsor, who's not really our sponsor, but we hope to one day actually have one to give such a quality ad read that Michael's mobile device can interrupt. But since it is officially October,
I don't know how to use an iPhone. Okay, it's not my fault.
You don't. Yeah, well, don't blame it on the iPhone. you know how to silence it. Sometimes. But now here we are in October, and you kind of teased this last month in our show that you got some beef with Halloween, and the title of our show this month is Halloween Sucks.
Yes, it does. Halloween.
I don't feel that way. I love Halloween. However, you got some beef with the Halloween.
Why? Why do you love Halloween? What about it?
I just enjoy it. I'm not somebody that goes balls to the wall, like, going all out for Halloween, but I enjoy it. I think it's a nice holiday. Did you know that it's one of the world's oldest holidays, Michael?
I did not know that. That's news to me. Why is it old?
Because it's been celebrated for centuries.
Of
course, in different, there's different, it's morphed and changed over the years, but Halloween has a celebration in the fall on October 31st in or around is one of the world's oldest holidays.
I see.
Yes.
I see. Yeah, that could make sense. Was it always created to lure children into creepy old people's houses?
It is. It is also morphed as far as its the function of Halloween has changed over the years as well. But it in its form today is probably its longest running form and function of the holiday itself. The trick-or-treating, the pranks, which I know you're a big fan of pranks.
I do like pranks.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah, you love a good prank.
But I don't like being scared. So
okay,
that makes me torn on Halloween.
So you're more of a cutesy character. You enjoy children in like a nice cartoon mascot costume as opposed to a kid with like eyeballs hanging out of the socket and like blood and guts. You don't like the gore.
Yes, I recently saw a very realistic Pennywise costume, and I was not a fan.
Okay. Now, is that because you don't like clowns, or?
No, it's because I don't like scary costumes.
Okay.
Clowns are okay. I just think they're kind of stupid, but
yeah, clowns are kind of pointless.
Yeah.
Most of them are jerks, but anyway.
Remember when the world was scared that killer clowns were coming out of the woods everywhere?
Yeah, that was happening a lot. Not that long ago, really.
That kind of died really fast, randomly.
Yeah. But yeah, all of a sudden there were clowns just emerging from the woods and scaring people all over the country.
That's how I feel about Halloween. People go out their house with the sole purpose of trying to scare you.
Not everybody.
That's not very nice.
There's some people. There are some people that like that.
Train your children to run up to a house and say trick or treat. So if you don't give them something that they like, they're gonna mess with your house.
See, nobody really does that
Yes,
now. No, because nobody doesn't give candy.
I don't.
Well, okay, you don't, but you don't go to the door and say, "I don't have any candy. Get the fuck out of here."
That's the real spirit of Halloween.
Yeah. Although maybe that's what you should do this year. Leave your porch light on when a kid rings the door and be like, "I don't have any candy. Get the fuck out of here."
This is preparing you for a career in sales.
Yeah. I'm on a conference call. Go on. So I suppose you know that countries around the world celebrate Halloween differently.
Yes.
Such as the Latin American countries, they celebrate the Dia de los Muertos, the Day of the Dead.
Yes.
In which they honor their ancestors, their dead loved ones, the ones that have passed on. It's more of a party and a feast. There's lots of food and music, and they celebrate the fact that their loved ones are not forgotten.
And they also trick or treat that day.
They do not trick or treat. There's lots of candies and things like that, but it's not necessarily a trick or treat style. It's more of a, think of it as like a family reunion, but with in spirit, people. All of your dead ancestors are joining you, and your community is also all celebrating together. A lovely depiction of the Dia de los Muertos celebration is in the Pixar film Coco that my daughter occasionally likes to watch, and then I find it's a very good film. So check that film out if you'd like to learn more about Dia de los Muertos. But here's the really interesting one across the world, Michael. In England, they celebrate this holiday on November 5th. It's called Guy Fawkes Day.
I've always heard jokes about this, but I did not know that was what it was.
Do you know who Guy Fawkes was? As in this Guy Fawkes.
No, that's not it.
That's not it. But Guy Fawkes.
Is he Robin Hood?
He is not. He was a notorious English traitor.
Oh.
Not traitor as in he traded things. He was a traitor.
Like Benedict Arnold.
A traitor to the country of England, yes. Much like Benedict Arnold was. Well, because on November 5th, 1606, Guy Fawkes was executed after he was convicted of attempting to blow up England's Parliament building.
Sounds like a celebration to me.
And immediately after, they celebrated with bonfires and fireworks to basically say, fuck Guy Fawkes, and we're glad he's dead.
He sucks. Yeah. Screw that guy. Let's have a bonfire.
So there's not really trick-or-treating. Yeah, there's not really trick-or-treating and things like that on Guy Fawkes Day. But in honor of him dying and not being able to blow up the Parliament building, they set things on fire and blow up fireworks.
That is funny, and I did not know that until you told me it.
I did not know that until moments before we started this podcast, and I was like, who needs to know about this? Michael.
I wish we used to celebrate that in America, because
you should.
Than our crappy corporate holiday to sell more candy to children so they become fat.
Wow. You're just so okay. Before I've got a list of questions for you. Mainly for my own curiosity, but before we move on to that portion of the podcast, I want to make sure if you've got anything you want to cover before we jump into this, because this is mainly an interview about your feelings toward Halloween. So I want to make sure we've cleared everything else before we get there. I want to give you your opportunity. I don't know what you got in your copious notes.
Well, I'm reading the history of Halloween, right? And apparently freaking getting candy was not a thing until like 1970.
Yeah.
People give out toys and money, which I'd much rather have money than freaking a half-size Snickers bar.
I will say the worst thing about Halloween now is the fun size, treat size candy. Give me a real Snickers. Give me a full-size candy bar, because those are the houses that run out of candy first. Because word gets out that they're giving out full size candy bars down there on the corner, and they're done by like 6:30.
But then your mom's got to look through a bunch of full-size candy bars for razor blades.
Yeah, because that's definitely something that happens.
It's happened a lot, apparently.
And no, I don't think it ever has.
I don't think it ever has either. Apparently, in 1974, a Texas boy named Ronald Clark O'Brien fatally poisoned his 8-year-old son by lacing Halloween candy with cyanide.
What?
That's where that comes from.
He poisoned his own son?
He did, yes.
Well, then you shouldn't be worried about strangers poisoning. You should worry about your parents.
Well, apparently he also gave it to other neighborhood children, but they didn't die. They just got sick.
Wow.
So
he sounds like maybe they should have a holiday in England and where they say like fuck that guy and they set off fireworks and bonfires.
That sounds like a lot of work to do that. I don't I never got where the razor blade things came from. I don't know if that's just like, don't eat so much candy, there's razor blades in there. I don't know.
I'm sure it's one of those urban legends that somebody warned their children about it, and then, oh, my dad found a razor blade in my candy. Like, no, he said there might be razor blades in there, and you know how these things go. Kids are dumb.
Who would put razor blades in candy?
Todd.
Michael Myers.
Oh.
See,
pretty much the same guy.
Yeah. But apparently Michael Myers is like unkillable, which is another problem I have with Halloween. Like how can all these evil guys not be killable? Like Pennywise and Michael Myers and Freddy Krueger lives in your own brain. Like, come on, man. They've got to have a weak spot.
They all do have weak spots.
Not Michael Myers. He's back again. He survived a fire.
Yeah, well, they can kill him. He'll come back, but you can kill him for a while and not have to worry about it. I mean, Jamie Lee Curtis has been killing this guy for like 40 years now.
She's made a whole career off of it.
Yeah, pretty much. But he's back now in the famous Halloween Kills, streaming only on Peacock Prime.
you got to pay extra to see Michael Myers.
I don't remember if it's Peacock Prime, but I heard the trailer the other day, streaming exclusively on Peacock something. I'm like, so you have an add-on to your Peacock profile.
Actually, I was just watching Peacock earlier. Their big marketing gimmick right now is Peacock. It's Peacocktober.
Peacocktober. That's actually pretty funny. Interesting fact about Peacock: they added a bunch more seasons of The Office to the free tier.
Nice.
You can watch up till like season 8 or something like that, or see all of season 7, which I'm like, that's when Michael leaves. You don't need anything after that. So
yeah, just pretend.
Yeah, but because I just happened on it the other day, I was like, oh, they've got like almost all the show on here now. So anyway, I don't know if that was a limited time thing or not, but anyway, what else do you hate about Halloween?
It's a commercial holiday, so it's whose parents can buy the best costume and whose parents can afford the best candy. And depending on where you live, Halloween's totally different for most people.
Yeah.
I feel like we probably had similar Halloween experiences. I feel like the houses where we grew up were not close enough together to walk around. Yeah, so your parents had to take you out in the car and stuff. I
explain that, I think, to somebody every year, that when I was a kid, I didn't have they set you loose in town and you run to all these houses and you just hit as many as you can. It was my parents driving us to houses of people we knew, because like at where I grew up, my neighbors, you couldn't see my neighbor's house from our house. Yeah. So yeah, it was we would drive to like my grandmother's house. We would drive to our quote neighbors, and then a few other people we went to church with, and we were home by like 8:30, 9 o'clock. And
like, we got our candy this year.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah. So
because we did not have the luxury of like a trunk or treat type thing where you could go and get lots of candy in one spot and all that. So
I think it's just commercially overdone. It's like, why does it need to be a thing? I don't get it. I hope the candy companies are happy for making a killing off of America's youth.
I feel like the candy companies would be making a killing on any because it seems like any holiday now is a candy giving,
So you want to know my real beef with Halloween?
Yes.
The world's worst candy is a symbol of Halloween. And
don't you dare.
Absolutely 100% horrible garbage.
Don't you say it.
It's candy corn.
Damn you, Michael. You know I love candy corn.
Candy corn is garbage.
No,
It is
no.
worse than cold soup.
No.
Yes.
And you know what? Cold soup is a delicacy in certain countries. Borscht, cold tomato soup.
Borscht is only good for cleaning the skunk smell off of Tommy Pickles.
Wow. Well, that's a good point. But no, how dare you insult the good name of candy corn? Candy corn is wonderful. I was just saying to my wife earlier, I have not had a single piece of candy corn and your
year has been so much better for it.
No, it is weird to be theoretically this deep into October, even though it's really August, and not have one single piece of candy corn.
Candy corn is a waste.
No. You know what else I like? I like the candy corn pumpkins.
Oh, God.
Yeah. The little pumpkin shape.
Just like candy corn, but bigger.
I don't like the chocolate candy corn. I'll say that. That shouldn't be.
Candy corn?
Yeah. There's like, it's shaped the same, but it's like instead of yellow on the end, it's brown and it's chocolate. And it's not as, it's like eating a Tootsie Roll. It's not what candy corn should be.
For a very long time, I did not know why it was called candy corn.
Yes.
But then I Googled it. Mm-hmm. And people have assembled it. It looks like a corn cob.
Yes, it will look like a corn cob if you put it together. It'll look like a whole husk of corn, basically. Yeah. But yeah, I love candy corn, and I knew you didn't like candy corn coming into this. I was just hoping you would forget about it.
Candy corn is terrible. It is worse than Peeps, which are the number 2 worst candy in history.
Peeps suck.
Yeah. I don't know why people eat it. It's just invented to break kids' teeth and give them the sads.
No, candy corn is delightful. I have eaten too much candy corn and not felt good, but I still eat candy corn when I.
Yeah, you know why you didn't feel good? Because you ate candy corn.
If you eat too much of any candy, you're not going to feel good.
If you eat candy corn, you're not going to feel good.
Well, yes. I don't feel good talking to you right now because you're a dick.
It might be true. Would you eat candy green beans? Why do you like candy corn?
I like fried green beans as an appetizer.
See,
I might like candy green beans. I don't know what your beef is, that it looks like a vegetable.
Yes. And it tastes like trash.
No, it tastes good. It tastes sweet and delightful. It tastes like fall. It's when I think of Halloween, I think of candy corn and that taste.
Well, I'm sad for you that you have to think about that on a yearly basis.
All right. Do you have any other beefs you'd like to air with Halloween before I ask you my questions?
That's my beefs.
Okay.
Halloween is garbage.
There you go. Sucks. The beefs. Halloween sucks. Halloween blows. Halloween kills. Which is streaming on Peacock Prime. So I have a few questions for you. And when I say it's a list,
October.
When I say I have a list of questions for you, I don't want you to think it's like a questionnaire. I have just a handful of questions that as in my prep for the show, I was like, I know you don't like it. I just need to know these few things about Halloween, because it's not just a few. You're condemning the entire holiday.
Yes.
And you wish it wasn't a thing. So my first question to you would be, have you always felt this way about Halloween, or is it something that has happened as an adult?
It's happened since I've become an adult.
Okay.
But no, I used to be into costumes and stuff. One year I was Darth Maul for a costume.
Okay.
When Darth Maul was actually cool and not super lame.
Yeah.
And that was a lot of fun because I got to make my hair all spiky and I painted my face and everything. It was pretty sweet. Nice. But yeah, since I've become an adult, I've realized the exploitation of America and American youth culture through Halloween, and I don't like it.
But so by exploitation, you simply mean the candy,
the demanding your way, and if you don't get your way, you're gonna mess with somebody's house. I don't like it.
See, I feel like, and again, growing up different, like I don't ever recall seeing a lot of Halloween pranks or hearing about them. They were always kind of rumored. I think perhaps at some point, I think if your house is going to get TP'd or shaving cream or whatever they're going to do to your house, it's going to happen regardless of whether you give them candy or not, just because some kids are assholes. And it's usually the older kids who are like, I'm too cool for Halloween, so let's just go fuck shit up.
Yeah.
That type of thing. I personally have never and don't know anybody that has ever vandalized anybody's property because they didn't give them candy or they didn't have their lights on or whatever.
Well, I think it's the premise of yelling trick or treat. Like you only have two choices. It's binary. You either give them a treat or you get tricked.
So that's your beef with Halloween, is that it gives you a binary choice. You're not going to do
Well, it's not creating good humans.
Well, it's not, but it's really
just give me a treat. That's not very hard to say.
It's not as catchy though.
People just like to trick other people.
At this point, trick or treat really doesn't mean anything. It's just what you say because it's tradition. There's not really, I'm sure you remember the old song from when I was a kid. It's been around for a long time, but I remember it's trick or treat, smell my feet, give me something good to eat. If you don't, I don't care. I'll pull down your underwear.
Yeah, see? That's bullying.
Well, I mean,
all because of Halloween.
I think at some point that was a bigger part of Halloween, but at least in my Halloween experience, like and now in my suburban life, I haven't run into any vandalized houses or, property damage because of Halloween. And it could just be the area. Maybe, in cities it's worse or, I don't know. But to me, that's never really been a part of Halloween, and outside of like movies and television shows.
True.
I don't know anybody who vandalizes.
But if it's on TV, it's real.
True. The only thing my dad's truck got egged one year on Halloween, and I say truck, it was like a semi. My dad was a truck driver for a long time, and he had and where we live, he had to park it out by the road. He couldn't bring it in the driveway; it was too big. So he had like 3 trucks, piggyback style, parked up there. They got egged, and he was all worried about it because it'll eat the paint. And he had to deliver these trucks. Long story short, he delivers the trucks, and then they scrapped them for like parts. So not because of the egg, but that was what their purpose was. He did not know that delivering them, but
it was because of the egg.
Yeah, they weren't going to use any of the body anyway, so it didn't matter. But he was all worried about. But that's the only experience I've ever had with some sort of Halloween prank. Is that somebody egged the trucks overnight?
Every year, some hooligans tore down my grandmother's Halloween lights in her yard. Every single year.
And she kept putting them up.
Yep. Just to spite them.
Well, there you go. Don't let them crush your spirit, Grandma.
Exactly.
Yes. Don't let the bastards get you down. Okay, so now that we've established that you're just a grumpy old man who hates Halloween, do you have fond memories of Halloween as a child?
I do. Okay. I don't know if this is fond, but I'm going to tell the story anyway. I was trick-or-treating one year, and it was actually at my grandmother's house again, and I was running through the front yard, and I tripped on a tree root, and I fell into a rock and landed on my eyeball, and the rock cut me open, and I had to have stitches.
Wow, that is not at all what I would imagine a fond memory being described as.
And then another year, the college students down the street had a haunted house, and they had a guy out in the front with a chainsaw, revving the chainsaw, saying, "Do you want a flu shot?" Yeah.
Do you want a flu shot? Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. Was there a chain on the bar?
I don't know. It was too dark.
Yeah,
and I was afraid.
I was at a haunted house once at Dixie Caverns. They do Dixie Haunted Caverns every year. And we went in college, group of friends of mine. We go and people are freaking out. We're in the parking lot and there's a guy out there with a chainsaw and they're losing their minds. And I'm just like, doesn't even have a chain on it. What the hell? Like, because I'm that guy. Like,
it's not real enough.
Everybody else is screaming and like, he's got a chainsaw. And I'm like, yeah, and it's just a bar. Like, it's just loud.
It's not real. I'm not scared.
And everybody was mad at me because you're ruining this. I was like, well, sorry, it didn't scare me. My dad was a small engine repairman growing up. I know a lot about chainsaws, more than I should. And there's no chain on that, so it's not going to hurt anybody.
It's just a piece of metal.
Anyway,
that is funny. That is funny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So,
But
well,
I don't. Why you gotta scare? I don't like scare. Why you gotta scare people?
I mean, I think there's it's just why I asked you earlier. I think there's different levels of Halloween. There's the blood and guts, terrifying, just want you to be crippled with fear Halloween group.
Yeah.
And then there's people that like me that just I like seeing kids having fun. I like, seeing all the costumes because they're so excited, and that, I do like that. Now, I will say, for me, that's newer. I used to be the guy that turned off my lights and I hid in my basement and watched movies or whatever, played video games, because I was like, I ain't handing out no damn candy. But again, that was just, I don't know, mainly because it felt more like an obligation. I don't know. Again, now that I live in the suburbs here and everything, and I guess now having children, I definitely appreciate it more.
Maybe I will hide in the basement and watch movies or whatever.
Yeah.
That sounds like a good plan.
It was fun. I enjoyed it. No porch light for me, and I didn't go out and buy candy. If I bought candy, it was for me. Now, I'm looking right over here at the end of this room is 4 giant bags of candy that I'm sure we're not getting rid of because the weather does not look good for Halloween. But we've got mass amounts of candy here because we ran out last year. So anyway, now you kind of already covered this with the Darth Maul, but I was going to ask if you had a favorite Halloween costume. Now, Darth Maul, that's I'm going to say that was probably your favorite since you already called it out. Was there a close second, or was there another costume that was almost as good as that one?
Yes. Yes. One year I went to the Goodwill or whatever. I don't know if it's a thrift store or whatever, but I found this costume, and it was a foam like suit that looked like McDonald's French fries. So I went as McDonald's French fries one year.
I have seen a photo of you and that's French fries. Or no, Todd was wearing the French fries.
Yes, I was a pumpkin.
You were the pumpkin. That's right. Okay, I've seen a photo of the notorious French fries outfit.
The French fries, that was a good one. I was very surprised. I don't know how somebody came up with that, but it was good. I enjoyed that costume.
It's a good one. Okay, so Darth Maul and McDonald's French fries.
Yes.
Okay.
What is your favorite?
I was always some sort of, much like the Darth Maul, I was always some sort of character from something I really liked.
Power Rangers.
Like Ninja Turtles. I think I was a knockoff Power Ranger one year. I had completely forgotten about this till you said that, but I recall having a very close but not quite Power Rangers costume, and I don't know where it came from, but it was not, I'm sure it had some name like Electric Cadets or something, like some sort of similar yet not at all name. Yeah, I did have a Power Ranger costume one year, but it was really bad, and I don't think I liked it. But I recall being a Ninja Turtle. Now that you say it, a Power Ranger.
Were you ever an Army Man?
No, I was never an Army Man.
Oh, interesting. I feel like everybody was an Army Man at one point.
Well, maybe because my cousin was in the military, and I recall having a lot of had a canteen, like he would give me stuff, so it's possible, but I don't recall, and I don't have any photos of me as an Army man that I recall. But I'd say probably some of my best costumes were in college. Those were more creative then and more inappropriate.
Yes.
So one year I went as a guy in the shower, and I had a towel wrapped around my waist. I have basketball shorts on underneath just in case, but I had rigged up this stick with a hula hoop.
Nice.
And I put it wasn't a shower curtain, but I can't remember what it was. It was some sort of like lace or fabric that I put that went around it, and I was a guy in the shower.
There you go. That is creative. I like
And
that.
I didn't know it at the time when I bought the hula hoop for this costume, but if you bumped it, it would like light up. It had all these little LEDs in it, and it would like they were like rainbow colored, and it worked really cool with whatever the fabric was that I got for the shower curtain, and it made a pretty cool, like almost like a rave effect inside. It was like I was really getting down in the shower.
Nice.
And but that was probably my most creative and best received. People really liked it. I won a costume contest that evening.
Nice.
Yes, I got a bag of cookies. They were special cookies. I did not know they were special cookies at the time.
Well,
So,
you deserved it apparently for your creativity.
I did. I really did. So anyway, all right. Well, moving on. Next to last question. There are plenty of Halloween movies out. Not necessarily the scary slasher films that you've already mentioned, the Halloween films. Do you have a favorite Halloween movie that you like to watch around this time of year?
That's a tough one. I don't know. I've never really been a big Halloween person. Maybe that's
Are you a
contributing.
Charlie Brown special, animated special type of person?
I mean, I've definitely seen it a handful of times, multiple times,
Okay.
but it's not something like seek out. I know there was outrage last year because they weren't going to show it on TV.
Yeah.
And I think they had to renege and actually show
They
it.
did. Because Apple, I guess, and because everything now is exclusive, it's streaming exclusively on Peacock Prime. That's a big thing now, is the exclusive, because you can only get it here. So Apple, for whatever reason, decided to hold hostage. Classic. It's the Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown. They were like, "Yep, if you want to watch it, you got to watch it on Apple TV Plus," and people were pissed. So I think they did end up backing out of that.
That's not good.
Yeah.
I think for me, like when I became a teenager and stuff, like the Simpsons Halloween specials were always good for me.
The Treehouse of Horror, I always liked those.
Yeah, those were always good, and they were always different. Like they always changed every year. It was the 4 miniature stories rather than the 2 big ones
where nothing counted, which I loved, because they could actually kill a character off and things like that. They, and a lot of times they did right off the bat. Somebody would get hilariously murdered. But
there's
I always like
a giant pumpkin. I guess it is the Great Pumpkin, and Lisa makes the Great Pumpkin, and he starts eating, or he becomes self-aware. And
I was gonna say, I think I remember him.
He pumpkin.
Yeah,
like, no,
he eats everybody.
Facing everybody around and eating them. Yeah, that's my favorite one.
So I'm guessing, since you didn't mention it, you're not a big fan of Hocus Pocus.
No.
You know what I love to do every Halloween is sit down with a big bowl of candy corn and watch a Hocus Pocus until I puke.
Because you ate candy corn. That's why you puked.
No, I ate too much.
That's how they torture terrorists in the Middle East.
No, it's not. If that was how terrorists were tortured, they would be like, "Wow, I'm going to be a terrorist forever because I love these things. I'm having a great time."
No, I'll be honest. I got a really weird experience with Hocus Pocus. I think it was on when I was like a smaller child, and I didn't really understand what was going on. So it just kind of weirded me out. And after that, I just couldn't get on the train.
Okay. Well, I am in the, I think, minority of people that saw it in the theater.
Really?
Todd's mom, I remember, I have this very vivid memory of Todd's mom taking he and I to see Hocus Pocus, and it was like in the summer. It wasn't even released around Halloween. It was released in like July or something, which was odd because it's very much a Halloween movie. So I went to the theater and saw it, and I really liked it. And of course, Sarah Jessica Parker was in it, and there's a scene where she's riding a broomstick with lots of cleavage, and I didn't know what was happening to my young body at the time. But that did something for me. But come to find out, it did not do well theatrically. Like, it was not received well, probably because they released a Halloween movie in the summertime.
That would make sense.
It just did not go over well. And it's one of these things that has become a big cult following in the years since. That, it wasn't popular at the time. But now it's, and I've just always liked it because of the nostalgia that I have of, I remember going to see it in the theater, and I don't know, I don't know why Todd and I went to see it. I don't know why that was a thing, but that's what we did, and it anyway.
Well,
That is my
here's
love for Hocus Pocus.
a Halloween movie take for you. And I'm interested to know what you think. What do you think of that Halloween movie with the Tim Burton characters? That I can't remember the name.
Here's the thing: I don't think it is a Halloween movie.
Is it just Nightmare Before Christmas? But it looks like Halloween, so you think it's Halloween?
It's a Christmas movie, but it's kind of both. My wife really likes it, and I think we watch it both times of year, in the fall and in the winter, because it's I stop motion is I have kind of a love hate with stop motion. There's sometimes I like it and sometimes I don't. I did not like that, and it was kind of it's just weird. It's bizarre. It's absurd.
Yeah,
and it kind of weirds me out, and it still does.
Yeah, it actually scared me as a child.
Yeah, I didn't like it as a kid.
Yeah,
which interestingly enough, I just watched the Netflix special Movies That Made Us, and they've added about the.
I saw that one on there, but I didn't watch it yet. I was watching the one on some other movie.
I would recommend it. It is yes. The Nightmare Before Christmas is very interesting because just quick little fun fact for you. I did not know Tim Burton was like an ostracized Disney animator. That's where he started.
Oh,
I had no idea.
Wow.
And he developed the concept while he was at Disney.
Well, there you go.
Anyway, just some interesting. I would highly recommend the Movies That Made Us on Netflix. It's a great series, and they did just add a bunch of Halloween, which they're considering it a Halloween movie. But ultimately, it's about a character, the mascot of Halloween, deciding he wants to break free and become. He wants to give his a hand at Christmas. So I think it's more of a Christmas movie. But anyway, I don't. It's not one for me. I like the Hocus Pocus. That's my Halloween movie.
Hocus Pocus is better than that movie. We'll go
Although
with that.
They're getting ready. I think this year, maybe
remake it.
They made a sequel.
Oh, with the same people?
Well, with the witches at least, which I will watch it as a Hocus Pocus fan, but I think it's going to taint the legacy.
You do not have high hopes.
I don't have high hopes, but I will watch it. Sort of a morbid curiosity, but I'll check it out. Anyway, so last question before we break off and end our Halloween sucks discussion. Is there anything at this point that could turn Halloween around for you, that could redeem Halloween, and maybe you'll be like, you know what, Halloween's not so bad?
Well, so I do enjoy a good dog costume. Dog in a costume. It's wonderful, and it brings joy to my life.
Dogs don't wear clothes.
So?
They don't wear clothes, so they don't wear costumes.
It's not clothes, it's a costume.
No.
Yes.
No.
Humans don't normally wear face paint, but we do
as much as you hate Halloween, I hate dogs wearing clothes probably 50 times more than you hate Halloween.
It's not like we're putting them in a business suit. It's like a Mufasa mask, so they look like a lion.
Regardless, don't put clothes on animals. It's fucking stupid.
They love it.
No, they do not. And they don't have a choice.
This is true. They do not love it. It's kind of like indentured servitude. But
yeah. Anyway, sorry. That was a tangent. But
I love a good dog costume. I think they bring joy. And it's like the dogs are the true artists in the costumes.
I can't.
I'm gonna get you a picture made of you holding a poster with dogs and costumes on it and make you wear it so that I can enjoy it.
Well,
then you won't have to look at it.
Okay, good. Because I don't want to see it. I actually feel my blood pressure going up when I see a picture of a dog in
What is
clothing.
Maddie gonna be for Halloween?
She'll be a dog. She's a fucking dog. She's not gonna wear clothes.
Just put a headband or something on her. Make her turn into like Candyland.
I get angry when we take her to the groomer and they put like a bandana around her neck. I don't like that. She doesn't need clothing anyway. So dog costumes will be the only saving grace for Halloween.
That's a good one. Yeah, I like the wiener dogs that dress up as hot dogs. Those are funny. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's not funny.
It is funny because they're
Terrible.
wieners.
No. Plus,
Good.
and here's something, I know we're done, but what really disturbs me is that you don't like the one holiday that has the word ween in it.
I don't. No.
That seems like it would be ripe for your parody, your dirty parody songs.
Well, I'm a newly converted fan of Guy Fawkes Day now. So
okay. Well, now that you know about it, you can celebrate on the 5th of November.
Down with Fawkes.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
yeah. Let's dance on his grave and light fireworks.
Yeah. So, all right. Well, there you have it. That is our take on the Halloween and Halloween Sucks.
You know what though? There is one redeeming thing about Halloween.
Oh yeah. the one thing about Halloween you do like. I can't believe we almost made it to the end without thinking about that. Gotta say, before you poof away, I did not enjoy what we're about to talk about. The first time I saw it, I was annoyed by it more than anything. As I was like, this is not funny. And it's one of those things that as time has gone on, I'm like, that is pretty funny.
It is very funny. And it's funny because it's the person that does it. But,
yeah.
But
a national treasure.
It's the one and only David S. Pumpkins. He is his own thing. And with that, I'm David Pumpkins. Any questions?
There you have it. The one and only David S. Pumpkins has once again reared his head here in our Halloween show, and he has signed off, hating Halloween all the way. Well, we want to thank you for once again joining us here at the Group Chat After Dark podcast, the award-winning podcast, the nationwide global phenomenon that is Group Chat After Dark. We hope to see you next month. We're going to have another topic about something Michael will probably shit all over Thanksgiving or pumpkin pie or, I don't know, cranberry sauce or something like that. I can't wait to see what he's going to say next month. But in the meantime, if you can't wait for more content from us, you can find us at RideThatDonkeyProductions.com. You can find us at DukeHouston.com. You can find us at ToddSux.com. SUCKS or SUX. We got them both, and they'll take you to the same place. Go check out that stuff. You can find us on YouTube. You can find us on Twitter. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on whatever the fuck Facebook is calling itself right now. We're everywhere. You can find our stuff, and you can even go to our store and buy stuff that has our logo on it. And it's probably crap, and it's a t-shirt that's not going to last very long, but it's got our logo on it, and you're supporting a local business. So do that, and then maybe one of these days we'll actually get some real sponsors, and this show will become what it has potential to become. And with that, thank you once again, and we will see you next month on Group Chat After Dark.
Halloween Kills.
Damn it.
Streaming only on Peacock Prime.